Hello, my name is Berger Roberts, and I'll be discussing citizenship theory. Within the worldwide terroristic alarms is a barrage of African American broadcasters who are streaming live video from their cell phones, revealing quite a bit of information about police activity in urban areas. These cell phone videos broadcast on major news networks weighed against highly publicized news reports of African American refugees who were victimized by Hurricane Katrina, combined to provide, to give rise to good questions about whether African Americans identify and communicate with government as citizens or as refugees. This ethnographic study is a convenient sampling of Facebook friends. It is an examination of citizenship theory to determine the following three questions. Number one, do African American adults perceive themselves as full citizens of the United States? Or alternatively, do they relate to the United States as refugees? The second question is, in what ways is government communication with African American adults perceived as similar to and or different from government communication with refugees? The third question is, in what ways does the United States government communicate a perceived identity of citizenship or refugee status to African American adults? Now, of course, an affluent citizen could correctly criticize this entire study by saying that government consists of people, and some of those people are African American people, and therefore government can't be represented as an entity separate from the people. The problem with this insight, essentially, is that it permeates from the Western European social construction of reality, a perspective which is foreign to refugees from non-European countries. The literature review examined an array of disciplines, establishing three things. First, a realistic description of refugee behavior. Secondly, a historical look at African American citizenship, and because theirs is a voice of government, governmental public relations practitioners' values and attitudes regarding cultures and subcultures. In describing refugee behavior, child psychologist Bronfenbrenner asserted that when analyzing adult behavior, consideration should be given to the individual's behavior in various settings across time and space, and not simply scrutinizing their behavior as a point of trouble. Bronfenbrenner likens communication between a child and his environment to be like a set of Russian dolls. A doll within a structure, within a structure, within a structure. Or, I should say, an individual within a structure, within a structure, within a structure. From there, we determined that refugee populations consistently present as Bronfenbrenner's Russian dolls, a structure at least 6 domains: individually, family, school, peer, community, and the individual's larger society. After that, we determined that refugee camps breed violence where refugees are often victimized by agents of their host country, ultimately producing post-traumatic stress disorder in refugees. A historical look at African American citizenship reveals that the American government has officially identified African Americans many times. First, as 3/5 human. Second, as contraband of war. Then as Negroes, colored, Afro-American, and now African American. These different identities have proved to be very traumatic and turbulent for African American people. And Dr. Joy DeGruy likens these traumatic experiences post-traumatic slave syndrome, a syndrome that bears many of the same markings as PTSD. The American government public relators speak to all people in the same language, one-directional, and the language of the affluent, white, heterosexual male. Citizenship Theory, a creation of British sociologist Thomas Marshall, is based on world history and Western European aristocracy. Marshall scrutinized unequal ways that rights are distributed among populations and emphasized the duties and obligations of the individual. The tenets of citizenship theory revolve around civic citizenship, political citizenship, social citizenship. Because citizenship theory is rooted in liberalism ideology, it brings communication studies center stage in performance and media activism, broadcasting policy, political communication, liberal feminism, some versions of critical race theory, and now streaming live video and social media. The findings determine that African American people generally identify themselves as American citizens, but are uncertain because the three main tenets of citizenship, identity, civic, and culture, are under constant attack. Examples of this are police's continued frontal assault on African American people, displayed on video. Number 2, government dismissal of African American self-governance, collaborations, and economy. And the third attack is congressional disrespect for President Barack Obama. These three situations combine to spark questions of belonging in African American people. African Americans communicate to government in similar ways as refugees, but communicate their American identity through patriotism, service to country, and through their constant outcry for equality. Finally, this study finds that African American people initiated communication with government less than optimally by failing to register preferences and complaints through formal communication channels. This is a vital setback to African American citizenship. This failure to communicate inhibits operationalized citizenship and critical notions of citizenship for African American people. you.